Hello everyone, welcome back to Bedmon Inc on the Chaosville server, and today we are stood by the tremendously long taking to light up and complete the circumference of Monroeville Mall. Our main thing today is that we're going to start actually paving the damn thing, and that's probably going to take us like 5 or 6 episodes, because it's a big place, and I'm going to be paving it predominantly with concrete. And I'll swap out the concrete in areas where I don't need it later, but first we actually just pave the damn thing. And maybe after that we'll do some island shaping, but that probably won't be today. So first thing we're going to do is set up a quick and short little applied energistics network to store some items around here, and then we'll get straight into things. So, hop into my perspective. So, first an ME network, as it were. So, if you were watching the channel Monday, you'll have seen me put out an applied energistics tutorial, and that allows me to make this stuff, which is the ME1K storage, which is the smallest storage cell. You can already see it has a few supplies on it for us, and it's a drive, a controller, and a terminal. I've also forgotten to pick up a power supply for it, but we can go and grab that in a moment once I've set this thing actually up. Now, I think one thing I didn't really cover in the tutorial, which in hindsight was a bit of a gaffe, is that you can actually place these right alongside each other, and they'll actually connect quite happily. So I've just got a crafting terminal. I've got another one over at the supply depot, so we'll see that in a moment. And I've got my 1K storage with some stuff on it. Can't see any of it just yet because we have no power. And apologies for the terrible frames that we're getting today. I don't know exactly what's going on, but Hawk may be on his final legs as far as filming goes. But on that note, actually, for those of you already, I imagine, hurriedly complaining about the FPS around, and wondering what's happening with Elemental may be working as early as next week. I don't know for certain, because it kind of depends on what we find to be, nice Wisey. It kind of depends on what we find out to be going on wrong with him. But, my dad, who is tremendously more adept with computer hardware than I am, is going to be popping around early next week to take a look. And we've also been tinkering with the server a fair bit. So we now have a mod called Tick Threadings in, which changes a few of the ways that chunks load and such, and allows us to diagnose particularly laggy chunks, which has been helping us to try and figure out why the server doesn't perform particularly well in general. And what am I looking for? I am looking for a way to open up... I'm looking for a way to pick up the third solar array that I made back here. There it is. Yeah, I made a third solar array because I've been working on a very compact design for the quarry, which I haven't set it back up yet, because I want to try and get that thing as self-sufficient as it possibly could, self-contained. Moment of truth. It's on my feet. There we are. And that is a low voltage solar array. Thanks, mate. Oh yes, and exchanged all of the, let's see, it was the 4 chests around here for a controller, a crafting terminal, a drive, a chest, which I've used more for packing things up for carrying away, and a pre-formatter, which, as I discussed in the tutorial, allows me to set specifically what different cells are going to contain. And, oh, that reminds me, we have excited bees. I'm not going to get too close here, because these things are crazy dangerous. It's like there is so much lightning here. I originally had, like, wooden slabs down here just so I could curb the enthusiasm of these flowers a bit. they all burned, because these excited bees set them on fire very, very quickly. And yeah, I don't think this has had any power recently to get through anything, but we have about 40 pieces of redstone worth there. So as soon as I can automate these guys and get them producing on a more grandiose scale, we should have quite the supply of redstone, and then we can get onto some very interesting things. But today we're mostly focusing on making concrete, which is going to be lots of fun, I'm sure. Well, if you've been watching the site, which you might do after the outro for this video, because I finally made one, you'll have noticed that there's been an unfinished comic set on the main page for, like, the past month, which was my attempt to get something out on a somewhat more reasonable basis that people could enjoy, because I started doing the comic before I started doing YouTube videos. The YouTube videos were made to supplement the comic, but they're a lot faster to make, oddly enough, than the comic. And I have had very precious little time lately, so I've gone with the easiest thing to make, which is more YouTube videos. And as it turns out, that was a somewhat bad idea. I don't know necessarily how bad it's been for the people reading, because I've only got one comment on it. But hello. But it's been kind of bad for me, because it means my dirty laundry is more or less in the open all day. So I'm going to, the same night that I'm filming this, I'm going to try and, as my father would say, get my finger out and finish off that page, so at least it's a completed page. It's not little marionettes on or something, but but hopefully it's a good page. Hopefully people don't mind too much. I've got an assignment due. This is like an end-of-year assignment at university, due next week. Another one due a week after that, and another one due a week after that. More or less every week until the end of next month. So it's not going to be a particularly pleasant bit of time, but such is life, it would seem. I'm reasonably certain I have a union claim somewhere, but I will. Okay, so we have that. So let's add our solar panel, and we can watch the power climb here. How much power are we using? 9 units per tick. That's a little more than this solar array puts out. A low voltage solar array will produce 8 units per tick, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. And now we can actually have a look in here. So, what do we have? We have an interface, a redstone engine, some shards of aluminium, a bunch of stone, a whole ton of cobblestone, some concrete, a bat box, and lots of stuff. So, what do we need to do? Well, I'm going to set up a quick little automatic smelting rig, and we can use that to start automatically producing our supplies for making concrete. So we're going to need the lever, we're going to need the interface, the redstone engine, wooden transport pipe, bat box, and the copper cable. And we're also going to have to pick up this lovely low voltage solar panel that we just put down, but oh well. You can actually pick up the applied energy stick stuff using just a pickaxe, which is a little odd, if I'm honest, but oh well, it's not that huge an issue. Okay, and now it's losing power because it has nowhere to get it from. Okay, so bat box. I'll reorient this when I get back to the ground. And low voltage solar array. Oop. Where's my low voltage solar array? It's gone. Hello? Solar array. Oh, there it is. Okay, that was odd. I'm not sure what happened there, but it was evidently a thing. Wow. Hey. Right. So we then boop. Yeah, and we now have power. So next we need to put an interface here, which will act as an input for items, and they will automatically go through into the ME network. And then we need to put our piping down. Oh wait, no, we need to put down our electric furnace, which I forgot to get out of here. Where are you? Generator just for backup power, and there we go. Electric furnace. That's all we need. Let's just plonk you there, because we don't need to worry too much about where this is placed, as long as it can do that. Perfect. Push. And a redstone engine. And a lever. Which I shall... Interesting. I found it interesting recently, you can actually put a redstone, a lever on the back of almost every engine except for the redstone engine. I don't quite know why that is, but it is. And now if we had an automated crafting rig, which is the molecular assembly chamber, we could tell the whole thing to start putting cobblestone into this furnace and smelting it up automatically. Just as there is some cobblestone in the network. Shove it into the furnace. But we don't have that capacity just yet. Okay, and is that going to go in? No, am I going to need more piping? I may need some more piping for this. But we also have a couple of hoppers there just for putting things around. Yeah, we'll leave that alone for now, I guess. But the idea is sound, at the very least. Which is, things get smelted in here, we shove them into the network, and then we can more readily make our concrete. And concrete, if I remember correctly, requires 5 stone for every 8 pieces. So it's a slight gain. Doop, doop. There we go, yep. Every 8 pieces. And we can proceed to make a bunch of this until we run out of our rebar. Right about now. Doop, and that is a quick 4 and a bit stacks. We actually got a little bit more than that. There we go. 4 and a quarter. Plus 7, because that's just left over from other stuff. So we are going to start placing this down, and it's going to take absolute ages, but I'll start with the entry zone, as it were, which, if memory serves, is 105 blocks wide anyway. And I've cleared out, if you look at the map, if you look at the island behind me, you can see it's all kind of fuzzy, and there are patches that are darker coloured. Those are like bushes and flowers and stuff, whereas most of the islands ahead of me are perfectly clean and whatnot, with occasional black dot, which is a raft lamp. I've done that for a lot of the islands that are contained within the mall, but I haven't done that for all of them. So some of them are still on torches, because torches were a lot cheaper when I was doing this. But that's not that big an issue. Okay, so let's start from over here. In future, I will probably use a filler, which is a buildcraft device, which if you give it some materials and a template and a bunch of power, it will automatically start laying blocks down. Whoop, and apparently the server is going to be laggy today. Yeah, as I say, we've been hunting down lag in all manner of fashions, but apparently it's designed to be a bit of a pain while I'm filming. Gar had it worse, I would say, thus far, because he was having all sorts of issues with his extra pistons and his portal jump pads, which meant that he was getting constantly teleported to the exact same location, thereby triggering the error again. But we are just doing some simple, nicey stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to pave the whole area with concrete. Oop, excuse me, Mr. Torch. Boom. Look. We're going to pave the whole area, and that's going to give us a nice flat area that, firstly, I can light up more efficiently, because I'm using a lot of raft lamps now, but a lot of the lights that would be given out by the raft lamps are just kind of getting eaten up by blank, empty, drop to void space, which is not helpful at all, and is terribly inefficient. And hey, we reached the side. And then we'll add the walls, and we'll add some of the interior structure, And then we can get down to the really fun stuff, like setting up all the shops and such. In fact, I'm really looking forward to doing the escalators, because there's a couple sets of escalators inside. What the hell just... I think I got teleported backwards there. There's a couple of different escalators in Monroeville Mall, and we have added Mine Factory Reloaded to the server, so I can now make actual functional escalators. Which is a... That was weird, I could have sworn I just heard me placing from the past. But yeah, I can actually make now functional escalators. I don't know if I'll be able to make a functional lift, but maybe that'll be a red power thing, I'm not sure. Beep-a-doop-a-doop. Just kind of chill, relaxed episode, really. But yeah, I'm going to start shifting a bunch of our stuff from around the supply depot to here, just so it's more or less in access. And I may have to go on a few more scouting missions for some quartz, either in new chunks here in Monroeville, or in the mining world, which we have recently fixed now, so it is not burdened with the problem of having mining fatigue free, which I swear it didn't have when we first made it, and then just kind of appeared later on. Very strange, but with my pick of utility, that wasn't much of a problem. Although we've also had issues trying to make electric drills and whatnot from industrial craft. The reason being, Greg Tech has been re-added to the server, which is marginally helpful for us because it means we can turn creosote oil into a power supply. But it also messes with a bunch of the items from different mods, including forestry and industrial craft. And the forestry isn't much of a problem. In fact, for the most part, Great Tech itself isn't much of a problem. The slight main problem, however, is that it recently added a device called the plate bending machine, which I can just bring up here. Yup. Nope, that's not it. I cannot see. I know why I can't see it. Because I changed the name for it in my config file. But yeah, it added this, which makes a bunch of plates, which I have similarly renamed Greg's. And you use those to make a bunch of different stuff. What it has changed with the drills is that instead of using refined iron or steel, as it usually makes you do it, you have to have these refined iron plates, or refined iron Gregs, in my case. We can't turn that off. It's done it to a lot of different recipes, a ton of machines, and pretty much every single electric tool. And in the changelogs, Gregorius, I believe is his username, outright says that he's not going to add a config option to change it. So we're stuck with that. So, at the moment I'm calling them Gregs. I might change that to Greg Butts at some point, but for the moment it's Gregs. I need to get a rolling machine down here, don't I? To make more rebar. It's a good thing iron is a renewable resource for us now, but kind of a pain. But, yep. Okay, so, yeah, I went through the whole area. I finished it up with Ken, and cut down all of the trees, which were not that many, actually. There's still a silverwood tree there that I'm leaving until I actually have to remove it. Got a bunch of, like, various seedlings, over 3 stacks of yellow flowers, over 2 stacks of corn, and over 2 stacks of henequen, which I'm of the understanding is basically like flax, but a bit more long-winded. I don't know if there's going to be any kind of potential use for those for us, but, yeah, who knows. We now actually have a decent place to stand. But we have quite a ways more to go. Let's just see if I can, get a fix on how far. Yeah, there's that silverwood tree. Is it going to show up, or are we going to lag out? Yep, there it is, just. You can just see it round about where my health bar is. That is the other side of the mall, roughly. Yeah. And that is... Oh, what was it? It was something like, 103? Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. Blocks away. And we've just covered 3. In part. And it gets wider after that, so that's gonna be fun. But I imagine once we have, like, the bulk middle section done and lit up, this will get a lot easier. Because then we have more dedicated systems and such, but, well, we are on the way. We haven't gotten much done this episode, which I apologize. I'm sure some of you are wondering why I'm just showing off this. But, I will shift over most, if not all, of my stuff from the supply depot over to here, and I'll get a little automated, smelting system set up. And I shall catch you next time. Normally, this is where I would do my salute, like that. But, today is the inaugural day of something new to the series, or indeed, Remember Comics channel in general, which is I have an outro, so enjoy! If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and or favorite, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to be notified of future updates. You can also check out the website where most other content is uploaded. That's all for now, catch you later.